What is free will? A simple philosophical exploration. Welcome back to our podcast. Today we're going to explore another deep and interesting question in philosophy. Do we have free will? In other words, are we really free to make our own choices? Or is everything we do already decided by something else? Let's talk about this idea in a simple way and see how different philosophers have answered this question. 1. What is free will? Let's start by understanding what free will means. Free will is the idea that we can make our own choices, and we are not forced by outside powers to do something. For example, when you decide to eat an apple instead of a banana, it feels like you are making that choice freely. No one is forcing you. That's what we call free will. But what if your choice was influenced by your habits, or your childhood, or your brain chemistry? That's when things start to get more complicated. 2. Why? This question matters. This question is not just philosophical. It affects how we see the world, how we judge others, and how we live our lives. If we have free will, then we are responsible for our actions. That means we deserve praise when we do something good, and punishment when we do something bad. But if we don't have free will, then maybe people are not really responsible for what they do. Maybe criminals, for example, didn't choose their actions. Maybe their background, biology, or environment made them act that way. So, understanding free will helps us think about justice, morality, and even personal growth. 3. Determinism. Is everything already decided? One idea that challenges free will is called determinism. Determinism is the belief that everything in the universe happens because of a cause. Everything has a reason behind it, like a chain of dominoes falling. If that's true, then our thoughts and decisions also come from causes we don't control, like our DNA, our childhood, our brain chemicals, society, and culture. For example, if you get angry and shout, maybe it's because your brain reacted in a certain way, not because you chose to be angry. Some scientists and philosophers believe that the brain is like a machine. It reacts to inputs and produces outputs. In this view, we don't really have free will. We just feel like we do. 4. Free will defenders. Yes, we choose, but many people and many philosophers strongly believe in free will. They say that even if our environment influences us, we still have the power to stop, think, and make a decision. For example, let's say someone offers you money to lie. You could lie, but you also could choose to tell the truth, even if it's harder. That choice comes from your values, your mind, your heart, and that's free will. One philosopher who believed in free will was Immanuel Kant. He said that humans are special because they can act based on reason, not just feelings or instincts. That's why he believed we are morally responsible, because we can choose what is right. 5. Compatibilism, a middle ground. Some philosophers think that both ideas, determinism and free will, can work together. This view is called compatibilism. Compatibilists say, yes, our actions are influenced by many things, but we are still free if we act based on our own thoughts and desires, not because someone forces us. Imagine this. You are in a room with a locked door. You sit and read a book. You don't want to leave. Later you find out the door was locked the whole time. Were you free? Compatibilists say yes, because you did what you wanted to do. So for compatibilists, being free doesn't mean having total control over everything. It just means acting in line with your own reasons. 6. Neuroscience and free will. In recent years, scientists have started studying the brain to understand if free will really exists. They do experiments to see when we make decisions. One famous experiment showed that the brain starts making a decision before we become aware of it. For example, if you decide to move your hand, your brain activity changes a split second before you feel the choice. Some scientists say this means we don't really choose, the brain chooses first, and we just become aware later. But others say, not so fast. The brain is part of us. Just because we're not conscious of the first signal doesn't mean we're not making the choice. So, even science is still unsure about free will. 7. Free will and society. This question also affects how we build our society. If people don't have free will, can we still punish them for crimes? Or should we focus more on helping and healing instead of punishing? Some thinkers say that even if we don't have total free will, we still need rules and consequences. Why? Because those things influence future behavior. Even if we're not free, people still respond to rewards and punishments. Others say we should be more kind and understanding. If someone grew up in a violent home and became aggressive, maybe they didn't choose that path. Maybe we should help people heal instead of just blaming them. 8. What do you think? At the end of the day, this question is personal. Some people feel strongly that they are in control of their lives. Others believe that life is shaped by outside forces. Most of us probably fall somewhere in the middle. Ask yourself, do I make my own choices? Or am I mostly shaped by my past, my habits, and my surroundings? If I want to change, can I? These questions help us reflect on who we are and how much power we really have over our lives. 9. Conclusion. A mystery worth exploring. So, do we have free will? The answer is not simple. Some say no, everything is determined. Others say yes, we are free to choose. And some say both are true in different ways. What's important is to keep thinking, keep asking, and keep learning. Whether or not we have total freedom, we do have the power to reflect, grow, and try to become better every day. Thanks for listening today. I hope this episode made you think. Until next time, take care and keep asking big questions.